Today, we will be in Jonesboro, Georgia, a small community that is 18 miles south of Atlanta. It is the birth home of Dan Cathy, CEO of Chick-fil-A. The town also played host to some of the 1996 Olympic Games. And if you like old movies, many of the scenes from the 1977 classic Smokey and the Bandit were filmed in Jonesboro. Sadly, on May 18, 2023, this town will bring attention to a high-speed chase of a different sort after a love affair would end in stone-cold murder. 40-year-old Sh0t Floyd was a loving mother, grandmother, sister, aunt, cousin, friend, and so much more. She loved her life, and her kids were her biggest priority. She worked in the healthcare field and was just a beautiful soul. Sh0t was in a relationship with 43-year-old Sh0t Brown, who ran a non-for-profit organization. His business mission was to help the community, the homeless, and families, especially women and children, teens, and young adults who were lost and needed guidance in their life. However, on May 18, 2023, Sh0t must have forgotten what he says his life stands for, because he would end up jumping off the deep end. It was around 5:30 p.m. that day when Clayton County police officers would respond to the 500th block of Valley Hill Road in Jonesboro, Georgia, in reference to a person shot. Upon arrival, officers located Sh0t inside a running vehicle with multiple gunshot wounds. The alleged suspect, Sh0t, was said to have fled the scene in a wrecker, which is like a service truck or tow truck. According to the police reports, it was said that Sh0t used the truck to ram Sh0t's car before he shot it up. Through a preliminary investigation, police would determine that Sh0t and Sh0t were in a domestic dispute around the time. Sh0t would leave the scene, evading the police, and sadly, Sh0t would pass away right on scene of the crime. After fleeing the scene, Sh0t abandoned the wrecker on Tar Boulevard and proceeded to evade police custody over the next couple of days. The Clayton County Police detectives will use federal task force officers and partner with the Clayton County Sheriff Officers Fugitive Unit in an attempt to capture Sh0t. Clayton County Police detectives obtained a warrant for malice murder, aggravated assault, possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, and possession of a weapon during commission of a crime. On May 20, 2023, around 5 p.m., the Clayton County police officers responded to the 500 block of Valley Hill Road in Jonesboro in reference to the suspect, Sh0t Brown. He was threatened to unalive himself. Sh0t would be in the same location where he unalived Sh0t. Once police arrived, officers observed him sitting in a box truck. Police were going to try to talk him down and get him into custody as safe as possible. But as the officers approached, Sh0t unalived himself by shooting himself in the head. He was transported to a local hospital, but he succumbed to his injuries. This is so messed up. I mean, she must have been terrified. First off, that he rammed her car with a big service truck, and then bullets get to flying. What a tragic way she lost her life. And it is so cowardly for a man to unalive the person he says he loves. This is not love at all. And I hope that any woman in a relationship and you're being threatened or someone's putting their hands on you, that you take that seriously and try to find a way to move on from that situation, because that's not love at all. And I hope that any woman can understand what I'm saying. I know it's sometimes easier said than done, but this is just becoming way, way, way too common. And I've said it multiple times in multiple videos, but each story is heartbreaking, especially in our Black community. I really am like, these men are just constantly taking these mothers from their children. And a lot of these women are strong and beautiful and have a lot going for themselves. Most of them also have children and they adore their kids. And for these men to continue to take the lives of their spouse or their fiance or their girlfriend or whomever, it is just really cringing in saying that. And it can go both ways. No matter what type of relationship you're in, no one should ever be with someone who's not bringing positivity into your life. Yes, there's going to be ups and downs, but it should never go so far as for someone to say, oh, I'm going to unalive you if you leave me, or I'm going to unalive the kids if you leave me, or if you try to divorce me, this will happen. That's not healthy. That's not a healthy way to communicate. And I say in all that, not directing it at Sh0t's situation, but just to give my thoughts on domestic violence as a whole. No one knows everyone's personal situations all the time, especially when they're in relationships. But if you've been in a domestic situation before, you kind of know what's going on. And I know it's not always easy. I just genuinely pray for her family and her children in this tough time. And I ask that you please comment your thoughts and prayers in this difficult time. Don't forget to hit that like button if you appreciate the content. And please comment your thoughts and prayers for this family. And make sure that you share to keep your people aware. And as always, remember, stay woke. Things change quickly.